Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Sunshine beating on the good times, moonlight racing from the grave, string band playing more of that honky-tonks, pretty young thing going dancing in the rain.
Just south of Seneca Lake, amidst the rolling vineyards and woodlands in upstate New York's Finger Lakes region, sits a shrine of American motorsport. Watkins Glen International is more than just a racetrack. It's the birthplace of post-war road racing in North America, a worthy test of some of the best drivers to ever sit in a race car. Today, the Glen hosts the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Craftsman Trucks, as well as the 6-hour crown jewel of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, SCCA, Professional and Amateur Racing, ARCA Menards, and SVRA Racing. Over the years, the Glen has been lengthened once and continually upgraded. A lap around today's Grand Prix circuit still incorporates much of the original layout. The first turn, known as the 90, a right-hander and a good place to pass. And it's up towards the S's, a series of 3 fast sweeping apexes leading onto the back straight. Cars reach their top speed here before hard braking for the bus stop at the end of the straight. Here the track doubles back through the carousel, followed by another long straightaway into the fast turn 10. A quick left-hander that's harder than it looks. The last corner, turn 11, is another fast right-hander that leads out onto the front straight. Racing first came to the Glen in 1948 in the form of the Watkins Glen Grand Prix, an SCCA-sanctioned event that ran on a more than 6-mile course over the back roads of town. The success of that event eventually led to the construction of a permanent track. The resulting product a little more than a third in length of the original street course. In 1957, the track hosted its first race, a NASCAR Grand National Series event won by Buck Baker over Fireball Roberts. The following year, Formula Libre showed up. Not long after that, Watkins Glen hit the big time. In 1961, Formula One came to the little town by the lake, bringing with it some of the most legendary names in motorsports. For the next 2 decades, the home of the U.S. Grand Prix was Watkins Glen. The early 80s saw some tough times for the Glen. F1 held its last race there in 1980, and it was closed to all but spectator-free SCCA meets for 2 years. But the track would soon recover under new ownership. In 1986, NASCAR's top series returned to the Glen, and with it, a whole new renaissance for the track began. Tonight, it's race number 8 of the PSRA Open ARCA Series, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the virtual Watkins Glen International. I'm joined in the booth by Zach Millett. I'm Steve Singer with Track Limits. What's going on, Zach?
Hey, I'm just ready for this lefty-righty stuff here, Steve. Looking forward to this one. Watkins Glen is where it's at.
You know, we like NASCAR racing, but I know you and I both, being up from upstate New York and you in the North Country here, we like some right turns here, even though we're in stock cars. So we're getting ready to do that. Practice just about wrapped up, but let's look at the race details for tonight. Nice and cool here, 76 degrees, 53% humidity, partly cloudy, 6-mile-per-hour breeze. This will be a 60-lap event. Stage break coming at lap 15, 100% fuel on board, unlimited tire sets available over the wall, no fast repairs, and 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish. Usually when we run these races, they don't run with iRacing controlled cautions, but that is the case here tonight. Not expecting a whole lot of that to be thrown necessarily, but we'll have to keep an eye out for it. If we get them late, we do have a green-white checker if necessary. Top time so far is the 46 of Will Jones, a minute 10.617. That's getting it here in these ARCA cars. Derek
1 minute 10.6. That's no slouch for lap time. I know the Cup cars are getting the 111s, so a lot of 10s. But you think about the horsepower difference, Steve. I mean, that's cooking around here in an ARCA car.
You know, it's interesting. You can kind of compare these ARCA cars being with the limited horsepower, almost like being in a Cup car, but in fuel save. You're not running a whole lot of throttle down the straightaway, but you're braking a little bit later. So given that it's a road course, that horsepower really doesn't make up a big difference, even though I guess you can kind of consider this place a super speedway of road racing.
Yeah, absolutely. You carry more speed at this place than a lot of the tracks on schedule, but this is going to be a big momentum track here, especially with these cars, like you said, with the lower horsepower.
Talking to some drivers pre-race here tonight, the fuel window looking to be between 28 and 35 laps. Again, that's a pretty big window, but it's really all dependent on how aggressive you are on and off throttle. Do you just lift it? Do you treat it like a switch on and off, or do you roll in, roll out? Do you lift early, brake late? I mean, there's a lot of strategies here to really open up that fuel window. Can help these guys kind of stretch that late pit stop in this race.
Yeah, in these cars, you can still kill the master switch, like mid-corner, and actually save a ton of gas, too.
Well, practice in the books, black and red flags waving here at the flag stand. We're going to get right into qualifying. I believe we're still on a 5-minute session. We'll double-check that here in just a moment. It is indeed 2 laps, 5 minutes, whatever comes first.
Probably going to see a lot of cars get out on track here as quick as possible, just in case they make that mistake and have to restart.
We'll stick with Derek Welch here as he rolls out of pit lane. Again, a long out lap, 2.5 miles. What is the strategy here to take care of tires? I know you want to optimize temperatures and air pressures, but are you looking for a fast lap 1 or a fast lap 2, Zach?
You know, these ARCA cars are just kind of like a beast of their own. It just seems like the tires really will just take anything you throw at them. I know with the Cup car, Xfinity car, and the truck, you really kind of watch your tires and how you treat them. But boy, Steve, these things, they just take whatever you throw at them. You can beat the crap right out of them, and they just keep getting faster.
Well, Derek's out there tiptoeing around the speedway with these cold General tires on board, just trying to Get a little temp into him, but not too much. Curious to see if that's going to be the play for everybody else. Before we get too deep into the woods here, there are some penalties that we need to talk about here tonight. James Benge is going to have an EOL. He was supposed to take one last week, did not, but he also caused an incident in that, so he'll be serving a penalty here tonight if he takes the green flag. Rodney Roberts also going to get a one-lap penalty and cannot qualify also for actions that occurred last week. Derek Welch on the clock, first lap.
Certainly looking pretty speedy up through the hill here.
Nailed the exit of the S is just about perfect, just an inch off that curbing.
See how close he gets to this wall here. Pretty close.
Jumps over the curbs nicely. I have heard from some of the drivers, some of the modeling of these curbs has changed a bit. Since iRacing's most recent update, they're a little more unstable, at least the car is, when you hit them. Got to be paying attention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they can upset the car terribly. It's pretty sketchy from how it used to be.
Welch grabbing 2 gears into the left-hander.
See the torque of that second gear kicking the rear end of the car out there.
Welch across the line here, lap 1 in the books. Welch goes P1 with a 79, minute 10.
See, and that's good for Welch here, Steve, because he hit his 10 lap 1. Now he can kind of just throw caution to the wind and send it.
David Bradford goes P2 with a 71.37. Now Will Jones, who was fastest in practice, he'll cross start finish. Takes the green flag, lap 1 for Jones. Looks like he missed turn 1 a bit there, Zach.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Not a great bus stop for the 46 either. He's going to probably throw this lap away. I would if I were him right now and kind of focus on lap 2. Cool the tires in the last handful of corners. Zach, you were talking about how these General tires kind of take whatever you throw at it, but is temperature really a factor with these? If you get them hot, can you cool them down, and does it make a difference?
I feel like you can in these cars. I feel like if you just take it easy for a lap or 2, you can really get the temperatures to come back down. Unlike the next gen, where it takes probably a ton of time to get any temperature to come back out of it after a slide or lockup or something along those lines.
So lap 1 invalidated for Jones. Lap 2, a minute 11:23, sits third on the board for now. Keenan Kimber now on the speedway. Just about 30 seconds left in the session. Nobody really delayed it, and Kimber's going to miss the bus stop. That's going to do it for his session.
That's what happens, Steve, when you only got 5 minutes. It's a pretty big outlap. Just get to your first lap here.
I think that is going to do it here for qualifying here at the Glen. A few drivers not getting out on track. Frank Griffith, Mark Truxell, Josh Ingram. Peyton Wagoner started a lap but then opted not to, so he never really got out of the pits. So with that, let's take a look here at our starting grid on the pole position with a lap time of 1 minute 10.798 seconds. It's the one of Derek Welch, fresh off a victory Thursday night here at the Glen in the fixed league in the PSRA. He's looking to make it a sweep this week. Derek Runge, second quick. He'll start outside front row, almost a quarter of a second off Welch's time. Row number 2, it'll be Will Jones and David Bradford. Row 3, Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Chris Klein. Row number 4 will be Colt Ansley and A.J. Rogers. Row 5, the 33 of Will Hewitt. Look for him to be quick. He always has been decent on these road courses, and the same can be said for the 15 of Vincent Short. He'll roll off in the 10th spot. Tom Barish will roll 11th. 12th goes to Keenan Kimber. 13th starter, it's the 5 of Mark Truxell. 14th, Frank Griffith. 15th starter, Josh Ingram in the number 56. And the 71 of Alan DeFries rolls off in the 16th spot. 17th starter, it's the 10 of Matt Nicholson. And 18th and shotgun on the field, it's the number 8, Peyton Wagoner from West Lenore Motorsports. Your starting grid here from Watkins Glen. We'll see the green flag here momentarily. Field getting gridded up. 1 pace lap. We'll be racing. Well, Zach, we got plenty of time here, but 18-car field. Not too shabby here in these ARCA cars. Some of these guys probably despise racing on road courses. I know Bobby Jr. was one of them, but top 5 starting position for Bobby. Who's your pick here tonight? I'll let you go first.
I'm not going to lie, Steve. I was gonna go through the field here on the stat sheet. I was looking for a Chevy, but there's not a single Chevy in this field, so that changes things up here. I don't know. I think I'm going to go. I was going to go with Derek Welch because I think he's a really easy choice. He's really good on these road courses. He definitely puts the practice in every week and it shows. But I'm going to go with David Bradford. I feel like he's put some practice in this week. I talked to him earlier, so I know he's put the laps in, and I know he usually makes good choices strategy-wise. I'm gonna keep an eye on him.
Well, I'm going to go a little out on a limb here. 6th place starter, the 86 of Colt Ansley. I think he'd have 2 more wins here at this place if it weren't for me dumping him in the carousel 2 nights in a row back in the day. But he's a good road racer. He didn't have the pace in qualifying, but he's always good with the strategy, and he's consistent. So I'm going to go with Colt Ansley in the 86.
I like it. Pew Pew America 88 in the chat. What's up, man? Over from America Racing.
Yeah, good to see some people in the chat here. I know it's early. We got that S4 guy, which, well, I won't leave anybody's surprises here. It's Zach Millett. But Pew Pew America 88, thanks for jumping in, saying hey. Everybody else out there watching, jump in the chat, say hey. Who you cheering for? Where are you watching from? Anything really you want to talk about. We're pretty much, we're pretty chill that way. Just keep it PG for the kids, I guess.
So I had about 38 seconds to make it over here in time for this broadcast, Steve, and I tried to send the link out as much as I could. So hopefully we got some people popping in and chatting it up to me.
Field into the bus stop here, again behind the iRacing pace car. We should be green flag racing as soon as we get back to start-finish. Tyler Armstrong in the chat. Thanks for checking in, Tyler. I'm guessing the devil horns are because of the music that I picked for the starting grid. Everybody seemed to like that.
I did. I was a fan. I was definitely a fan. Good taste, sir. Almost as good as last week.
Well, I got in trouble for that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, got a little. I got a little strike from the YouTube community on the No More Tears usage, but whatever. It worked for the live. If you were there live, you saw it and you heard it, so that's all good.
Yep, worth it.
Getting ready to go green here. Field out of turn 11. We're going to call it 11. We're going to count the corners in the bus stop here today. Pace car is in.
Green flag.
Barney waves the green flag, and we're underway from the Glen. Ingram back of the pack, way down to the inside, but out front, early lead. Derek Runge jumps out, battle for second. Welch loses the lead from pole. Might lose second here if Bradford's got anything to do with it, but Bradford, smart about it, tucks back in behind the 1 as they run up through the S's. You can run side by side through there, but man, it's treacherous.
Especially on cold tires, it's almost a certain death trap.
Field clean through the carousel. A couple of more corners to get lap 1 in the books. Runge leads him down in the left-hander, turn number 10. And we got trouble on the carousel. Not sure who that was. It was the 8 of Peyton Wagoner. Trouble out of the carousel. He's got damage.
Oh, big time damage left front. Just torn. Oh, the whole bumper's gone.
Big time hit. We'll take a look at it quickly here. The caution did not come out for it. Just a moment ago, lap 1, Peyton Wagoner on exit, gets the right sides over the curb, upsets the car. We talked about that in qualifying. Around he goes, just smashes that Armco barrier. Runge leads lap number 1, puts about a second on Derek Welch as Welch is starting to stretch his legs, get some distance between himself and David Bradford. A look at the weather here again, 76 degrees, nice and comfortable, low humidity. Track temp 114 though, even though it is partly cloudy. It's a little bit warm for these cars. We'll see if that plays a factor or if that kind of cools things down as the sun hides behind the clouds the rest of this race.
Well, I tell you, Steve, I hope that's an exact replica of what the weather looks like this weekend at Watkins. I would be very thankful.
I tell you, I looked at the 10-day forecast, and as far as real-life forecast at the Glen here, we're looking low 80s the majority of the week and very little chance of precipitation. A little hot on Sunday. I think we're going to touch 90 degrees, but I'm okay with that instead of rain.
You know, it's always hotter on Sunday. Always, every year.
Should make for a good race. The hotter it is, I think the better it's going to be.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm going to ride on board here. Next time we get to start finish here, we'll jump inside the cockpit of the one of Derek Welch as he's trying to run down Derek Runge. He's cut about a 10th into that lead so far. Oh, a little bit of an issue on the entry to the bus stop. Keeps it straight though.
You got to wonder if the dirty air really affects these cars. Once you get in that 1 second range, it starts kind of pushing or maybe stepping out on you a little bit just from the dirty air.
It's got to affect your braking when you get in close, especially at this place. You run such high speeds. Aero is very important. Slowest corner here really, I think, is either right here in 11 or even maybe turn 1. But even there, you're running through there 80 mile an hour plus. Aero plays a factor.
Yeah, and I tell you, what affects me personally more than that even is the trying to find your line when there's a car in front of you. You know, sometimes it's kind of blocked. And makes it pretty hard to hit those marks.
On board with DW, Derek Welch into turn 2, up through the S's. 75% throttle, roughly. Try to hammer it as hard as you can up through here in the left-hander. Little wiggle for Welch. Car gets a little light on power. Now wide ass open down the backstretch. A little early on the brakes.
Run kind of had a little better run up the hill on Welch there. Bus stop looks pretty even.
Keep the car pinned here at the curb through the carousel. Slowly open the wheel. Some guys will run wide here off the exit. Drive way over that curbing. Some guys keep it on the racetrack. That's kind of my preference as far as real life, though I do take advantage. Late braking here just past the tunnel. On throttle right at the apex. Keep it in gear. No, he shifted there. Good looking lap for Derek Welch. Welch has really closed the gap.
A little bit. Yeah, he definitely has speed in a lot of the sectors compared to Runge.
Big mistake there for Derek Runge.
You know, catching somebody's one thing, but passing them, that's a whole other story.
Oh, Runge real loose up through the S's. Backstretch through the bus stop into the carousel. Runge really put some time on DW. Now Runge runs real wide on the exit at 10. Welch will take advantage, close the gap back into under half a second.
You can see how such a small mistake like that just plays such a big factor. You know, really a lot from that little wide exit.
Well, that's just the thing on these road courses, and it can be difficult for guys because you think about, well, let's just make the example here. I know road racing is much different than what these guys tend to do, but you go to a place like Martinsville, very flat, lots of heavy braking zones. I guess you could kind of almost characterize Martinsville as just a left-hand only road course, and some of the road racers out there have even said that. But even there, you've got one entry and an exit, and then another entry, and then an exit, and then that's your lap. Here, you got 11 corners to work with, so you've got either lots of opportunity to go fast, lots of opportunities to make a mistake. So if you're not perfect and the guy behind you is just one corner better, it's all it takes.
Man, run delivers through that bus stop once again. You can see him just putting some distance on him.
Welch using all of the exit on 11. Still keeping within 6.5 tenths of race leader Derek Runge. Further back through, Bobby Hamilton Jr. running in the 4th spot. He's up 1. Chris Klein in 5th. Will Jones, fast in practice. He's lost a few positions. Again, this is an open setup series, so a lot of these guys may have their cars dialed in for the long run. Fast lap of the race so far, Derek Welch, a minute 10:68. Klein right to the back bumper of Bobby Jr. there. Might have had to slam on the brakes to avoid contact. Klein took care of Bobby there.
Yeah, I think he gave him a little extra, just in case. But we'll see. He looks a little quicker here. Let's see how he's going to end up making the move here.
Front brake's already cherry red on the 25. Good corner for Klein in through 10. Closed the gap a little bit on Bobby Hamilton Jr. Closes it again here on braking into 11. Meanwhile, I think Bobby might be holding Chris up a little bit because Will Hewitt is really closed in down on the 51 here. Chris is going to have to start looking in the mirror instead of the windshield.
Hewitt's got a really good run coming up the hill here. Let's see if he maybe dives to the inside into the bus stop.
Thinks better of it. Yeah, he's get out of my head.
Get out of my head.
Had a good run out of the S's there, but you really have to nail it. You got to have a killer run, almost get alongside the driver you're trying to pass before midway down the backstretch if you're going to jump to the inside there.
Yeah, and you can deke them out. It's one of my favorites. You can kind of, peek your nose out like you're going to dive it in there and then get back to the left side to have a good entry in. Maybe spook the guy in front of you thinking you're going to dive it in there, but sometimes it works.
Well, that's another thing, too, is you get a guy looking in the mirror, especially on these road courses. Every corner's got its own brake marker. It's a little different. You've got to find basically a point of reference on the track. Sometimes you've got brake mark signs, like you've seen in some of these corners. They're numbered in feet, 500, 400, 300, and so on as you get closer to the corner. You pick one, and that's your brake marker. But if you're looking in the mirror and all of a sudden you look up and it's behind you, well, now you've missed your entry.
Yeah, then you're in big trouble. See if Hewitt's going to have that same run on his back straightaway here. He's looking.
He's got to stay tucked in there.
Just not close enough yet.
And you talked earlier, Zach, about dirty air. Up through the S's, I would assume that's probably the most pronounced place that it's going to cause an issue, where the front end gets a little light. Tends to push if you're tucked up too close, because you're doing well over 125 miles an hour up through the mid portion of the S's, probably 140, 150 on the exit of 4 onto the backstretch. So that dirty air makes a difference.
Oh, man, I see some bad news on the ticker here. Will Jones might have had an issue.
Will Jones parks in pit lane. This could be a problem for the 46. Let's take a look what happened here just a moment ago. This is into the bus stop. Already has some right front damage. Didn't catch where that happened. Oh, Holden Earnhardt.
There's that curb. It just, boy.
I know I'm going back in the day here, but Earnhardt did the same thing. I believe it was at the butt of the Glen in 2000. Almost just like that. Hop on YouTube and you guys can find it and tell me if my memory serves correct.
Might be in 480 SD quality, but
yeah,
we'll still see what happens.
Technicolor. So Welch has pulled back a bit, about 1.2 seconds from the race leader. I wonder if that's by design, maybe forced the issue too early, and he was running very quick laps. He's still running a little bit faster than the leader right now, about a quarter second quicker. But that might be, like we talked about, dirty air. He's got some distance now between himself and the leader, so he's got a little more downforce on the nose of that Camry.
Yeah, and he's got a big gap out the back, so he doesn't have to really worry about any pressure coming from Bradford just yet. So, yeah, maybe this is by design. Maybe just hang back a little bit, save some tires, chase the rabbit, and maybe run, wear his tires out a little bit, and you can make a run at him.
Meanwhile, Will Hewitt got clear of Chris Klein. Now he's hammering on the back bumper of Bobby Jr. through turn number 1. Big wiggle for Bobby, and I think Hewitt went wide there just because he thought he was going to run him over. Bobby might have a problem. He's very slow up through the S's.
Well, and the problem here, too, is Hewitt's going to get a slowdown for entering turn 2 so high off the curb. Quite checked up so bad there.
See, I think that evasive action by the 33, I don't know I wonder if Bobby missed a shift or grabbed too many gears into one. He's lucky he didn't money shift that thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty catastrophic for him there. Another Mustang sent to the moon. It's tough for Hewitt, though. He's been fast, he's been making all that progress, and now he's got to do it all over again.
Yeah, and really with another car added to the mix, because he's got to dispose of Colt Ansley now, because Colt's up into that 6th spot. Hewitt went from almost, thought it was going to be 4th, now down to 7th. Couple laps shy of our stage break, the only stage break that we have planned. Competition caution, if you will, as they traditionally do run in the ARCA series. Gotta tell you, Zach, it's a good battle back here.
It is. It's chaos, but it's great to see a bunch of cars real close together.
Josh Ingram in 15th there. He's a lap down. He's coming into this mix as well.
It's going to be a tough spot here, Steve.
Oh, Ingram through the grass. Hewitt again.
Hewitt gets dealt the bad luck there, too.
Not Will's fault there. He's just taking evasive action. Doesn't want to knock the fenders in on that 33 machine. And unfortunately, twice now he's tried to take care of a guy or himself, really, and it's cost him. Ingram wide again.
Somebody coming in the pits here going to make sure to stop this stage.
Surprised it wasn't Colt Ansley.
Yes.
So Chris Klein.
Might not be a good play for Hewitt as well, you know. After all the padlock, maybe just come in and get some tires and cycle up front for the stage.
Well, it's too late for him now. Hewitt stayed on the racetrack here, and I think the pits have been closed. Long stop for Chris Klein here, 14:47. Seemed longer than it was.
It looked fast.
Yeah.
Looked so fast, the pit crew even looked invisible.
Back out front, Derek Runge now into turn 1, so Klein able to complete his pit work without losing a lap, so he'll be able to regain some track position here when the caution comes out the next time by. And Colt Ansley in pit lane. I guess they didn't close the pits. So this is the move that almost beat me at the Glen when I raced back in the SCAR series with these guys as a rookie. Colt got out in front of me and, well, I reeled him in, but I ended up dumping him in the carousel. Sorry, Colt.
People don't forget.
Oh, and he overshoots the pit box.
Land Shark Camry. Oh, that's a good looking car, Steve.
Making me thirsty.
I know, I was just thinking that.
So Colt down and away, 14:33 the stop. And Will Hewitt's in trouble. Will with a problem. It appears to be in the bus stop as he's just now exiting the carousel.
I don't see any damage. It's too obvious.
Caution now out. Stage break.
You want something to drink? Yes, they'll take a Captain Morgan and Diet Coke.
Let's get a look what happened to Will Hewitt just a moment ago.
Oh, very reminiscent here. Same thing.
Thinks he keeps it off the Armco. He does.
Nice. Beautiful.
Kind of got away with that one because the caution came out right after. I don't think Will lost any positions, just a little bit of pride.
Yeah, and he's going to get new tires so he can take those flat spotted things right off and throw them in the garbage.
They're going to go one more lap here. They got to get caught up to the pace car.
This is usually the toughest thing about full course cautions at road courses. Some of the cars towards the back of the field, they're going to spend this entire time just trying to catch the pace car because they were so close to going a lap down. You see one just passing the pace car there, and it makes it pretty tough to get the field back together.
Welch rolls up alongside Derek Runge. Spikes the throttle a couple of times, says, I'm coming for you. I don't know if you're going to get in ahead of that 99, but...
No, he seems like he's eyes forward. He's been hitting his marks. You haven't seen many mistakes, if any. And I don't know, he seems strong on the long run. He seemed like he just is, he's putting it all together here tonight so far.
So stage break. We're going to get to pit lane here at the end of lap 17. Again, 28 to 35 laps on a load of fuel, so there's going to be a green flag stop here before this one's over.
Maybe.
I think we'll be green before 20.
I mean, we've seen a bunch of spins and kind of, just even some wrecks. but they've kind of stayed out of traffic, so that hasn't really brought out any cautions. But never know. Steve, do you know if they're admin throwing cautions or is it iRacing?
No, iRacing controlled cautions.
Interesting.
I did talk to the race admin about that, i.e. David Bradford, and he said, yeah, but I doubt there'll be any thrown. I guess they had a pretty quick race on Thursday in the fixed series. You know, some of these, even in the ovals, you get wrecks that are like, how is that not a yellow? And it doesn't come out. But maybe the Glen has kind of updated that a little bit to be a little more strict on when it gets thrown. I don't know.
Yeah, it's been happening a lot lately. It happened actually in my race this morning in NIS. There was a couple pretty obvious spins in traffic, and there was never a yellow thrown.
So Will Hewitt stays out on the racetrack.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Now, remember with his tires too. I mean, he went for that slide. It was a pretty good slide, Steve. I mean, that's gonna shed some life off those generals.
You know, I don't know. Maybe he's trying to make this a one-stopper. I mean, you said it yourself, Zach, in qualifying that these general tires really kind of take a beating and just keep on living. You got to wonder, maybe he stretches this to the end of the fuel window, then makes one stop. He'd have fresher tires at the end than just about, well, not necessarily, but I don't know. I kind of like the play. It's an option. You know, he had his little mishap there in the bus stop. That's going to be the question, though, is how badly damaged do those tires get in that slide. It didn't look like much, but in reality, it kind of is. These tires are not designed for that lateral load like that. And yeah, when you're in a corner, it's one thing, but they're designed to be driven forward.
The more I think about it, Steve, the more I like it. I mean, he's obviously got decent pace. He's just kind of been caught up in traffic a lot of this race, and that's where mistakes and bad things happen. But he's going to have a great shot to kind of stretch his legs here and do what he can. But then he could also hit as soon as that window opens, as soon as he can make it to the end. And then he'll be driving on track kind of alone on fresh tires, making up more time.
You know, I've seen some guys too, and it rarely does it work, but it can, is he's got the lead right now. He's picking up some bonus points, but I have seen guys coming to the green flag hit pit lane. And then same situation, they're at the back of the pack, but they're out there in clean air. No traffic. You can just run laps.
Hit your marks, nothing in your way.
I don't know, he's got options.
And pretty much every option makes for good TV, so let's go. Well, this will be good, Steve, with the strategy and how it's played out so far with Chris Klein and Will Hewitt out there on pretty fresh tires, cycling up ahead of what's been the two fastest guys in the field so far, Runge and Welch.
So Runge is going to restart there in the second row. Welch, looks like he's fifth. Welch will have the inside lane, though, so that's a bit of an advantage.
Colt Ansley up there in P4.
Now, he short pit the stage as well. Gained a couple of spots out of that. Probably would have, yeah, he'd have had the lead here, I think, if Hewitt didn't stay out. And actually, Chris Klein short pit as well. He came down a lap and a half before the stage.
Yeah, there's more of them than I thought. This will be fun to watch. I'm curious to see how hard Runge and Welch pushes to get ahead of these guys, or if they can. You know, I mean, this might be pretty tight.
Okay, iRacing Porsche pace car, lights are off. Gonna make the hard right turn into pit lane here. We'll see the green flag momentarily.
Ready, green, 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 green.
Hewitt leads him down into turn 1, opens up his entry. He'll wheel hop a little bit. Ansley clips the inside curb, bounces him up a little bit into Chris Klein, but Ansley will take the second spot as they head up through the S's. A great restart from the 33 of Hewitt.
This is exactly what Will Hewitt needs here. Build a little gap, get up there all by himself.
Oh, trouble, Derek Runge.
Oh, no. Did he get that Armco, Steve? It looked like it.
Yeah, a little. I don't know how bad it was. It's just the top of the frame.
These things are tin cans. That hopefully he doesn't have any wheel damage.
Runge now back in the 10th spot. Dangerous part of the racetrack, too. Very lucky that didn't wad up a lot of guys. Go back and take a look at it.
Looks like this left front fender is going to be a little torqued on that Armco.
So watch the 99 here, just the outside. Driver's left. This is the restart here. This was down into turn 1. Kind of blew the exit of turn 1 there. Slipped the tires. Bradford got to the inside. Oh, just got loose.
Just on the curb. Yeah, his left rear got that curb a little bit, and it just sent him.
Cole Ansley off the track. He's gathered it up, but lost a ton of momentum here as Klein gets to the inside. Ansley looks like he's got some right front damage as well. Hard to see right now with Klein there.
That was a huge move by Chris Klein right there, throwing it on the inside of that bus stop.
Oh, David Bradford around the carousel. Got to wait for traffic to clear.
Spot to turn around. Well done, well done. Doesn't look too bad.
Bradford learned his lesson from earlier in the season. Watch that relative. Now Vincent Short in trouble.
Oh, there's some heavy damage on that thing.
Meanwhile, Will Hewitt out to almost a 3-second advantage over Chris Klein. Short, that thing just won't turn. He may be coming to pit lane here.
Boy, certainly one of the best looking cars in the field right there. You hate to see that. Bradford Aero Works 15.
Well, let's unpack a couple of these here. We watched the Derek Runge incident on the restart in the S's. Here's David Bradford.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. That was chaos.
Oh, just bumped it into the bus stop. Straightened it out. Does he get... Oh, Runge.
Oh. Geez, bad to worse for Runge here. And look at Vince Short. That's where he got in the back of Bradford there. This is just one big accident, Steve.
Meanwhile, Chris Klein in trouble too. We'll have to check that one in a minute.
See the damage already on the 15, probably affecting that car. And plows that Armco. Man.
And here's the Chris Klein crash. This is down into 1. Ansley looking to the inside. Drives it deep to the bottom. Well, we've seen that a million times.
Yeah, it's just the location.
Speaking of wrecks that remind me of things, that's a throwback to Harvick and Montoya, I think.
Oh yeah.
Remember that famous one when Montoya and Harvick were at each other's throats out of the car?
Yeah, they were very happy with each other after that.
Let's check this angle here again.
Oh, Ansley just
he locked up
hot. You can see the wheel hop.
Yeah, he locked up the right front too when he hit the curb.
How lucky was Welch there?
Big time. So Hewitt still out front, 3.3 seconds the advantage, and DW up into second. Hamilton Jr. third, Colt fourth, and Mark Truxell up into P5.
Mr. Consistency, that 5 car. No surprise to me.
I'm really impressed right now with Will Hewitt, too. His last lap, 1:11.82. He crosses his stripe now, and he runs 1:11.37, his fastest lap of the race.
Old DW turned in a 10.99, so he's got the pace. Oh, you see Hewitt get loose on that rumble strip there. But, I mean, 3.0 seconds now. I mean, that's a pretty good gap. I mean, Hewitt can just run this right out, even if DW catches him. You know, we get in the pit window and start racing in fresh air again.
Well, yeah, that's just it, because he's off sequence with everybody else, but if he runs another 9-10 laps, you know he'll be able to make it to the end for sure. Then he'll have fresh tires, doesn't need to worry about trying to pit again. He's got to make sure he doesn't get in trouble getting in and off a pit lane here, doesn't want to take a penalty.
You know, thinking about it, I don't know how fresh air it would be. This field is so spread out with all the chaos the last 3 laps. I think he's going to be around traffic no matter what, but look at that gap shrink. DW is sending it right now.
Again, Welch did take 4 tires on that pit stop during the stage break, and it looks like Hewitt's really battling the back end of that race car, trying to keep it into the racetrack, slipping around. Every corner, every time he gets on throttle, it steps out on him.
Yeah, Hewitt's got to kind of look past DW here. He's got 7 seconds back to P3. Even if DW gets to him, passes him, it's still a pretty darn good strategy.
So Bobby Jr. in the HH Unlimited number 25, up through the S's, still running in P3. And I got to wonder, Zach, if Bobby has put in some work here on these road courses this week. He did mention it after his win last week, that they've really put in some effort here into the race setup, into these race cars on the road courses, and he seemed pretty optimistic, and it wasn't smoke. He's running P3 here, having a solid day, and doing something he's really not fond of.
I tell you, once a lot of these guys that don't like the road courses start putting in the practice and the time and start getting good at these places, pretty much all of them start liking it.
Well, Derek Welch is a prime example of it. He talks a big game like he doesn't like it, but he has really improved.
Oh yeah, all over the charts. Every road course track we go to, he's kind of shined at.
Truxell still hanging on to P5 here at AJ Rogers in 6th.
It's a pretty darn good looking paint there, Steve.
You know, he doesn't change it a whole lot, but it does look good.
Refreshed.
Truxell making a change from Chevrolet over to the Ford Mustang this season. Rogers taking a peek. Good exit and carousel for Truxell. Puts a little distance on AJ Rogers. And Derek Welch may have had an issue out on the racetrack. He was down to 1.9 seconds, and it slipped now to 2.2 yet again. No damage on the machine. He's okay as far as that goes, but maybe a missed turn 1. Oh, Mark Truxell in trouble.
Might have just looped it here. I don't see any damage.
And he's back on the power, trying to defend. Maybe a little bit of rear quarter on the 5. A little bit of left front. That left front tire sticking out just a touch.
Broadcaster's curse just never fails, does it?
He's still running P7. It's just shy of halfway. Let's see what happened a moment ago to the 5. Little over rotation. Yeah, he got the fence pretty hard, actually.
Wow.
Square.
Jeez. Pretty tough Mustang there. Hopefully I didn't hit the radiator too bad. Hopefully it doesn't start overheating or anything like that. You'd hate to see that.
Damage on the 86. Oh! Over rotation in turn 1 hits the tire pack.
That's wheel damage, Steve,
You
all
can,
day.
you can see it already. The right front's towed in pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Steve, this is turning into just pure attrition. I mean, anybody who survives is going to probably get a top 5 here.
I mean, it's kind of old school that way. Back in the day when they started running the Cup cars here in the 80s, that was just survive this thing. That was the goal. If you could just keep it between the grass, you'd be okay. You know, half the guys, maybe not half, but a lot of the guys, they would start the race, they'd pull over, and they'd have some guy jump in and race it for them that's got experience on the road course. They're like, nope, I don't need this. I'm not bothering. Times have changed.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Bobby Jr. still running P3, still about 10 seconds back from the race lead. Meanwhile, Derek Welch closing back into Will Hewitt, still 1.8 back. Welch only about 700ths quicker than the race leader. Meanwhile, I want to jump on board here with Bobby Hamilton Jr. I just want to watch his lap, see how he's getting around this place. Coming to start-finish right now. Yeah, Bobby's running this how they did back in the day. Chris Klein in trouble. Slow down the short chute. Cole Ansley on pit lane. See what happened to Klein here a moment ago. He's going to run wide in 10 also. He's into the carousel. Little correction in the middle of the corner. Now jumps that curb. Just a touch. Oh, man, he did a good job locking it down. It's going to cost him, but great job.
Yeah, saves the car. That ARCA was very unforgiving, so if you can stay off that, you keep it in, keep the chance going.
Ansley still in the pits here. 4 tires and fuel for the 86. And a penalty, too fast entering for the 86 of Colt Ansley. That's going to cost him significant, or is it? No, that was damage repairs. Thought he was getting dinged for a penalty, but he sat there for an extra 10 here to fix some of that wheel damage, that suspension that was damaged in that impact off turn 1. Now Bobby Jr. in the pits. I think some of these guys are just, as soon as they get to that fuel window, they can know they can make it, they're going to pit.
Yeah, bolt on those 4 freshies and have a little bit more trust in those tires. Pretty good battle for the lead here. Looks like DW finally has got back up to the bumper of Will Hewitt.
Close that gap in a hurry. Tires definitely going away on the 33. I would expect to see Hewitt hit pit lane here at any moment. Back here he comes.
You called it.
And here comes DW with him. This will be good.
Smart move by DW here. He doesn't want to let Will Hewitt get back out there on track with 4 fresh tires, put any time on him. He's already seen what kind of pace Hewitt's got on old tires.
If you're DW, do you go with fuel only or left sides?
Man, 2 tires at these places, it's just so scary. It upsets the balance so much, but I don't know. I would think about it. Oh, Matt Nicholson crashed. Looks like he just towed to the pits. Man. This track, man.
Gonna be 4 tires for Welch and Will Hewitt. See what happened to Matt Nicholson a moment ago. Real late, big wheel hop. Missed the braking zone by a ton.
Oof. Parallel parks it into the tires, and that's it.
And our new leader, the 5 of Mark Truxell, out in front. So we are just past halfway here at the Glen. We're going to step aside, get our side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. You won't miss a moment of the action. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Watkins Glen, more green flag pit stops commencing. Will Hewitt, though, has cycled back to the race lead. Derek Welch a half second off the back bumper, 24 laps to go. But now Hewitt and Welch on equal footing. However, Welch had better tires than Hewitt that last run and was not able to completely catch and then pass the 33. We'll have to watch and see. This may really come down to who makes a mistake and who doesn't.
Yeah, and if we don't see any mistakes out of Hewitt here, it's really going to take some racecraft by old DW to get that nose out in front. It's not easy to pass at a place like this.
Oh, big
time
wiggle.
wheels.
Huge slide for Derek Welch. Looked like Kyle Larson at Eldora.
Hangs onto the car. Oh, man.
And he only lost about a tenth.
Well, if you didn't think they were pushing, they're pushing. Got even with that moment through the bus stop, Steve. DW still had a little bit faster lap time.
About a half a tenth quicker than the race leader.
A good run up the hill by Hewitt there.
Derek really gained the ground there in the bus stop. Hewitt drives it deep into the carousel. Let's see what kind of exit he gets. Yeah, he's losing ground already. Too deep.
You can definitely see DW's got him on the entry. He gets on the binders a lot later than Hewitt, but you know, some of these corners, I mean, you know, they are all different. Hewitt definitely gets that run off.
Oh, Welch in the moment. Keeps it off the
Big.
wall.
God, he got spinning those tires on that rumble strip. You've seen how that's affected different drivers tonight.
You know, I got to be honest here. This is probably a more entertaining race than what we're actually going to see this Friday at the Glen in the ARCA series.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it's probably true.
PSRA ARCA series certainly putting on a great show here tonight at the Glen. Good couple of corners for Will Hewitt.
Yeah, it seems like DW's just pushing a little hard here. He missed turn 11 pretty good there and dropped back. I think he's still got a lot of pace on Hewitt, but I don't know. I think he's just kind of should ride here and take care of his stuff and let Hewitt make a mistake if he does. See the gap going. I say that, good run up the hill by DW.
Watching Derek here last couple quarters, and a big wiggle from Hewitt on 11. Derek's got to clean things up a little bit. He's made a couple of mistakes the last handful of laps. Some lap traffic coming into the mix. Alan DeFries in the 71. We'll see if he yields to the race leaders.
Ooh, was going to hold Hewitt up big time. That's going to cost him the lead.
He tried. To the inside, Derek Welch. Down in the braking zone to turn one. Hopefully they don't overcook it. Hewitt goes wide. On the throttle is Derek Welch, and he goes back to the point from the pole position. Derek Welch here with 19 laps to go gets through. Now can Will Hewitt mount the charge and take the spot back? Yeah, that cost Hewitt a ton. His last lap was a minute 12:10. Welch was almost a second quicker.
Yeah, and you could tell Allen wanted to get out of the way there, but it was just they caught him a little too quick on entry of turn 11. So, yeah, I hate that for Hewitt, but let's see if he can mount a charge and get back by DW.
Oh, wiggle from Welch. Yeah, you said it earlier, Zach. Can't tell these guys aren't pushing.
Yeah. Oh, big moment for Hewitt. Big slide up the hill.
Very similar to what we saw Derek Runge do.
We're going to have two lap cars here battling, so this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and you got, it looks like it's Frank Griffith and David Bradford. That's the tough part is you start the lap cars. Griffith does a great job to get out of the way. Just says, forget this, I'm going through the grass.
Got to give it to him there. He got right out of the way, cut the bus stop through the grass. That's a good gesture by that driver.
When you're
I think
not,
we're going to see the same thing out of Bradford here.
Yeah, I think David will let him fly. He's got some damage, I believe.
He's going to pull to the right here, I guarantee it.
There he goes. Big wiggle from Hewitt off 11.
Yeah, Hewitt was following him.
Taking another look at the weather, track is actually cooling off slightly, which is probably good news for these guys as they get deeper into this run. Those tires starting to get hotter and hotter and a little shorter on tire life.
Hewitt is just using every inch of that racetrack to try to close in.
Not gonna lie. If the yellow were to come out right now, I wouldn't complain.
I was gonna say, Steve, there's a couple C words I try not to say in my life, but that one, that one would make this very interesting. Very interesting. It let a lot of people come in and get a lot of damage fixed too, and get more cars into this. I know if I was out on that track, I would not want to see it. If I was one of these two guys, especially.
Well, with all that said, too, if the caution were to come out, what do? Do you stay out knowing you don't need fuel? Do you give up the track position knowing that everybody behind you is going to do the opposite?
Man, it's tough.
Hewitt was quicker that last lap, a little more than half a tenth.
Yeah, and I didn't really see a mistake the last lap by DW, so I don't know. Got lots of time left, tons of time left. I think Hewitt is better than DW in dirty air. I think he can stay with him a little easier. But DW is arguably one of the fastest cars here tonight, so give him clean air, it's just going to benefit him.
Last lap, both drivers within a thousandth of each other. In fact, let's take a look here. The last lap time for the top two. 278 by Welch, a 265 by Hewitt.
Hewitt had another moment there coming up the S's. He clipped the curb a little bit and drifted pretty solid. Hung on to it.
Take a look at the pit strategy here yet again. Derek Welch, your race leader. He's made 3 stops, or at least 3 runs. 17 laps on the first, then 15, and now he's currently 13 laps into this run. Undoubtedly going to be the longest run he has gone, so that's kind of the big question mark, is how does that race car handle deep into that run at the full distance of a fuel run? We haven't seen really anybody go that far. I think the furthest we've seen anybody was Chris Klein. He went 22 laps on a load of fuel. I'll tell you though, right now, Will Hewitt, if he manages to hang on to the second spot, certainly the strategy play of the race, moving up 7 spots, making this a one-stopper. Derek now running into the high 110s. Minute 10:86 the last lap. Almost, well, actually more than a second quicker than Will Hewitt. Explains the 2.1 second advantage he maintains right now as you're coming to 13 to go. Outside the top 5 in P6, Chris Klein. It's really the closest battle outside the top 2. Klein over Mark Truxell in 7th. Truxell the last car on the lead lap.
That is such a crazy stat, Steve, and you come to these road courses a lot of the time, and it seems like a lot of people just, they have issues making it through the race, and we got a little less than half the field that's out of this thing. I mean, if we touched on it earlier, that if you can just keep it between the white lines, you could pretty much muster up a pretty decent finish.
Keep it on the racing surface. I mean, that's really half the battle, especially up through parts of this racetrack like here in the S's. There's only about an inch of separation between that white line and to the right of that Armco barrier. So if you keep it between the paint. A.J. Rogers running in fourth. Now Colt Ansley closing in. This will be a battle here any moment. In fact, it's here now. Car length maybe less between the 57 and the 86 coming back to start finish. We got Looney69 in the chat. Says, hi, boys. And we got Ritz Carboy. Hi, Looney. I'm a big fan, bro. No way you're in there. I think he's in here. Well, thanks for checking in, guys, either way, even if you're just visiting. Hit the like button before you go. I'd appreciate that. Colt's got some damage, but he gets to the inside of Rogers here out of the carousel. Rogers goes wide left of the curbing. Carries more momentum, keeps that speed up down the short chute into the left-hand turn 10. Shallow entry for the 57. He's going to run wide here, real wide. Opens the door for Ansley. Colt takes the spot. Now move the 86 up into P4.
Colt doing a good job driving that 86 machine with that little bit of wheel damage. Boy, broadcaster's curse, Steve. Every time I see something nice, something bad happens. But he's doing a good job keeping that thing straight. It's not easy to drive these things around these places, especially when the car's torquing all over the place from wheel damage.
Now, it's been a while since I've turned a competitive lap here at iRacing, but Colt does not appear to have received any kind of a slowdown for that real running wide in turn 1. Where's the line there, Zach?
It's right at the end of that rumble strip, and you got to have all 4 tires left side of that thing. So it's pretty picky. It just kind of prevents like what we were watching in real life, Steve, last year with the Cup cars when they're just swinging so far wide out and almost going straight into turn 2.
Well, yeah, last year they actually went a little deeper and they cut lines into the runoff there. I don't know, what's it, 2-3 inches deep on exit there, and it didn't seem to make a damn bit of difference.
Yeah, they were like very violent rumble strips, and you could hear it all the way from the top 90 section, them hitting those things. It's pretty incredible. I'd imagine it actually helped with grip, as they're sliding the car over top of it.
Well, they're not really bumps. They just cut, lines into the track there. I mean, it reduces the amount of surface area the tire can touch in that contact patch, but I don't know. I think you gotta make that, I don't know. They don't want it slick because they want the drivers to be able to save it. They don't want the kitty litter because even though it's effective in preventing a major crash, it also adds a ton of laps to the caution in most cases because they got to clean up all that pea gravel that rolls out of the car when they drag the thing out of there.
Yeah, it creates an absolute yard sale.
I don't want to necessarily say let's enforce track limits, but hashtag track limits.
Well played, sir. Well played.
I don't know. I mean, I get why they paved all those runoffs. The carousel was a nasty spot. I remember Jeff Gordon and I think it was Jeff Burton and some others got into a nasty crash there. And then there was another one further down, actually right in front of my campsite, where they punched a hole in the Armco. And it's just, they needed the runoff to help guys save it or at least avoid complete chaos because you can't run off in the grass because that's what it previously was. But once they paved it, I personally think they should have said, all right, guys, this is paved for your safety, not for your lap time.
Right.
So Colt now stretching his legs a bit there on A.J. Rogers. It's a mistake from Rogers that gave Colt the spot, but it looks like the 86 has the pace as he's starting to get further away.
Speaking of pace, I don't know how many laps they're in this stint, but that car on your screen right there just ran a 1096. He's out there hitting every mark. He's in a groove, no pressure out the back. He's doing exactly what he's got to do to get this W here tonight.
Derek Welch, 20 laps on this set of tires. Just under 3/10 from his fastest lap of the day. Now, what do you attribute that to? Is it just a matter of burning off the fuel, the car's getting lighter, and even though the tires are wearing out, you can kind of get on the throttle and accelerate faster and brake a little bit later, or is it just kind of keeping everything even?
It's definitely the weight. I mean, every time you get a light load, it's definitely going to feel faster, and in every aspect of the game, you know, braking, acceleration, cornering. I mean, it's just going to help everything. But I think your comfort factor's just the most important thing. He's got a big gap out the back. He's just out here logging laps. You know, he just happens to be in first, and he's doing the right thing right now, Steve.
In those situations, though, at least in my experience, and if the car gets lighter in the rear end of the race car, obviously that's where the fuel cell is, you got to roll those brakes forward because you kind of increase the likelihood of wheel hop. You got tires that are worn, light fuel. You can put yourself in a situation where you make a mistake.
Yeah, and I know we've touched on this a lot in the past, but you know, you're out 4 seconds on P2. You know, you got 7 laps left, and do you back it down, you know, to save your stuff to kind of just be safe, or do you kind of keep pushing and stay on the edge there to keep sharp and just kind of keep going keep doing what you've been doing, and obviously it's been working.
I mean, I don't know about you. I'm the type that if I change my typical pace because I have a lead or because I need to save tire or save fuel, I tend to make more mistakes when I try to back it down versus trying to run qualifying laps every time, you know?
That's exactly the same with me. Yeah, if I change up anything, it's absolute death. I got to be on the edge there every second, and even if you're coming up on lap traffic, I just got to keep the same pace.
Ooh, got to be careful.
It's just a scary spot there.
Welch showing a bit of patience. He had time to give up, and he certainly did. He lost about 8/10 there trying to get around the 5, but again, a tough part of the racetrack, as you said, Zach.
Chris Klein might have had an issue. I see it pop up on the stat sheet.
Into the bus stop a moment ago.
A wide entry. Boy, that same spot. Oh, it's going to hurt. Boy, I hope he paid that high deductible at U-Haul before he brings that thing back.
Yeah, it is a rental after all.
Man. That same spot, though. And we touched on it. I mean, that curve was the biggest one that changed. I mean, you could just launch that thing. You could center it and, you know, not get a slowdown and make up so much time straight lining that carousel.
Yeah, I mean, if you straight line that first curve, you get all 4 wheels off the racetrack. As soon as it sets down, you just kind of tap the brake to set the right front and keep on going.
It's totally different. Whole different game. You got to be so cautious through there.
Hewitt now approaching Mark Truxell. Oh, real loose, and he saves it. This is turn 10, still trying to catch his breath from the carousel.
Back of that car, Steve, is just not happy.
You know, I just got to wonder if it's driving style for Hewitt, because we've really seen that a bunch throughout the whole run. Big wheel hop there into 1.
Yeah, that's why. He's got some rear brake in that thing. You could tell when he got on the binders there, that thing stepped out immediately.
Pretty good job hanging on to it.
Yeah, it makes it pretty sketchy, especially on old tires and a light load. We'll see if it does the same thing in the bus stop here. But coming down the hill into 1, I imagine it's probably the sketchiest part of the track for him right now.
Now, for any novices out there that may not necessarily understand some of these terms that we're using, wheel hop, Zach, why don't you go ahead and tell the viewers exactly what that is? I mean, it sounds self-explanatory, but what is wheel hop in these cars?
Well, it's pretty much the worst thing in these cars. I mean, you can get on the binders a little too hard, have a lockup, but once it starts wheel hopping, you're along for the ride at that point. You're almost better off just getting off the brake completely, kind of letting it roll. Try to salvage what you can. I don't know, it's the worst thing in these cars. It's hard to explain because when you got new tires, it almost feels worse than the worn out tires. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, worn out tires, it just tends to lock up if there's a problem. As Hewitt runs wide here. But I mean, wheel hop, they call it wheel hop because effectively that's really what's happening. The rear axle of the race car, it's a solid axle, at least on these older race cars like the Xfinity Series or the ARCA car, and he's slipping and sliding up through the S's. Wow. When you get on the brakes, you grab the downshift. Sometimes if you downshift a little too soon, maybe don't match the RPMs quite right, the rear tires start jumping and through the grass. The rear tires literally start bouncing on the racetrack. And as you said, Zach, there's really only two ways to stop it. It's either get off the brake or hit the gas. Now, SVG has talked a little bit about why he's so good in the Xfinity cars, because he's really proficient at the heel and toe method. In a lot of cases, you don't need to lift, you don't need to get on the gas. He'll just slip the clutch. He'll just give it a little bit of clutch on the downs, on the slowdown into turn one. If it starts to wheel hop, and you're effectively disengaging the transmission enough that it's not biting the pavement as much, so it stops the hop. Yeah, you're going to run wide in the corner, but you're not going to spin the thing out.
Yeah, you're going to save the car and live to fight another day at the least. Which I'm sure Hewitt is very appreciative at this very moment.
Yeah, if I'm Will Hewitt, you got a 40-second lead on third place. I think you just got to take care of the car and get it home. I don't think he's going to run down DW at this point.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. DW's got a just shy of 5-second lead. He's about 2 seconds faster last lap. Get her home.
Derek Welch off turn 11, coming back to start-finish. White flag in the air, final lap for DW. Enjoying a 13-second advantage over Will Hewitt. Hewitt having another problem. We'll quickly look at this. This was an 11, just locked him up. He's got too much rear brake in that thing. Oh, major spin.
Oh, my.
Man, years ago, that would have been day over.
Day over, stuck in the litter.
Meanwhile, Derek Welch, final lap, up through the S's for the final time. Derek Welch looking to complete the week sweep here. Won the fixed race here on Thursday. Won the pole here tonight. Didn't have a great start to this one, but he survives it with a 15-second advantage out the rear view into the final corner, turn 11, looking to pick up a win here at the Glen. Checkered flag waves. Derek Welch wins it at the Glen. Will Hewitt finishes in the second spot. Bobby Hamilton Jr. should come home in P3.
Boy, what a run. What a run by DW. He put it all together here tonight. He's definitely the cleanest car on track at this point.
Well, like we've said it a bunch here tonight, keep it between the white lines. You'll have a good finish. And in his case, he kept all the body panels straight on that thing and won this race. Welch channeling his inner Kevin Harvick. Derek Welch picking up the win here at the Glen. We're going to step aside here, get a break out of the way, and talk to our top three finishers after this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics, LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Watkins Glen International, Derek Welch picking up the checkered flag here in race number 8, Season 2 of the PSRA Open ARCA Series. See if we get a word with our race winner and pull Derek up into the booth. DW Derek Welch. Steve in the booth with Track Limits Network. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Derek, congratulations, man. Clean sweep of the races here at the Glen here. You won on Thursday in the fixed series, and, well, you put together a win in the Open ARCA Series here at the Glen. Some road course racing seems to be suiting your driving style here, even though you claim to not like it. But walk us through your race, man. Congratulations.
The first stint right there, I completely blew the start. Started off the second when I should have started off the first, and I settled in second. I was going to let Derek do his thing and me do mine. I wasn't going to push. I knew it was going to have a stage break, and I was about to go over the radio with Derek. He was missing the turn. I was going to tell him, just race your race. I'm not going to try to push it. We'll settle this at the end. And second start, I got a little smarter. We had some lap cars in front of us. I mean, not lap cars, but cars that short pitted or whatever, and got past Derek and got behind Will, and I pretty much did the same thing until the end right there, not pushing my car and just picking my time. And luckily he got held up on a lap car, and I was able to get around him and just stay consistent and hit my marks. And some lap cars kind of scared me there, but got it done.
We watched a little bit of that here in the latter stages of this. It just really seemed like, and Zach and I talked about it in the broadcast, is that the clean air, or the dirty air for that matter, really caused issues for a lot of guys. You could have the pace behind the race leader, for instance, whether it was you or Will Hewitt, it didn't really seem to matter. Once you got close, though, you couldn't really break that bubble. Was that something you experienced in the race car, the handling change in dirty air?
Yeah, it was getting very tight. Trying to make the corners, and I was pushing up in my corners every time I get behind them, and yeah, it was just if it wasn't for the lap car, I don't know if I would have got around him. I know I was faster than him, but like I said, I was getting behind him and my car was pushing.
Well, Derek, congratulations on the race win here tonight. We got next week off as well. I'm going to be in the Glen myself, so this was a good warm-up for us. But Darlington Raceway in 2 weeks, how do you prepare for that very unique racetrack?
Not Rick. My open lead this season has been horrible. I just haven't been able to get these open setups down, and yeah, I've never been really great at Darlington. I just go out there and do laps, and just hope I finish another one. This is the first one I finished all season, I think.
Well, good one to finish here, picking up the race win here at Watkins Glen. Derek, congratulations again, man. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I want to thank Brandon. Gave me a great setup today. Been working with it all day today, me and Tom and Chris, and felt fast, sticking, perfect setup. And thank Mr. Millett. He's trained me on these road courses, especially here at Watkins Glen. It's got me tons better here. I'm not Millett fast, but I might be there one day. But thanks to my teammates, Tom and Chris, and thanks for Brandon and Hamilton putting on a fun lead to do every Sunday. And thanks for you, Steve.
All right, Derek. Well, congrats, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, sir.
It's Derek Welch, your race winner here in Watkins Glen International. Next, we're going to talk to our runner-up, a hard-fought runner-up finish. It'll be Will Hewitt. See if we can pull the driver of that number 33, into the broadcast booth. We'll talk to Will Hewitt. Will, it's Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
I got you.
Will, congratulations, man. Solid run here tonight. Started back in that 9th position. Some strategy, making this a one-stopper. It was a very interesting strategy. Myself and Zach were talking about it up in the booth. You're the only one out there to try and make this a one-stop race, and it really paid off. Got that track position early on. It was a great move, just not quite enough there. Maybe some lap traffic holding you up, but what was it like from your perspective? What was the difference maker here tonight?
Yeah, it was all that strategy, man. You know, I saw those guys short pit that stage, and, I just thought about it. I'm like, it's still a one-stop race from here, so, might as well just stay out. I just run my fastest lap. The tires were lasting pretty well, so I just decided to make it a one-stop race.
last handful of laps in this race, it seemed like those tires finally were starting to go away on you. Was there some traction issues in that machine?
Yeah, I was just pushing 110%, trying to run him down at the end there. You know, I cooked him. I was getting in way hot every corner and making mistakes. So, you know, that's how it goes.
2 weeks from now, as we're off next week, we're at Darlington Raceway, the Lady in Black, if you were. How do you prepare for that oval? Again, a very unique racetrack, and got to run that wall.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do testing for that one. I'm actually really excited about it. Got a cool shot to win there, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us, man. Who do you want to shout out to?
I just want to shout out Zin for getting me through every race. I need him.
All right, well, thanks for talking, man. Good luck in a couple of weeks.
All right, thanks, man.
Will Hewitt, your runner-up here at the Glen. Next, we're going to talk to third place Bobby Hamilton Jr., and driver of that H&H Unlimited number 25 machine, fresh off a win last week, but third place here on the road course. Bobby Jr. and Steve with Track Limits. You got us?
Yeah, man.
Bobby, congratulations, man. We talked a little bit in your Victory Lane interview last week about your feelings on road racing. I don't think they've changed a whole lot, but a top 3 finish here to round it out here at the Glen. A strong run and a good setup in that Ford Mustang, man. How about your race?
I would love to sit here and lie to everybody and say that I've really learned a lot, but I didn't. The only problem is I just missed all the wrecks. And a lot of your fast guys, David, Derek, a lot of those guys, they all wrecked out early, and we missed those. But also, too, in racing, that's what a lot of it's about. We knew we wasn't a car to win. We wasn't going to be able to short pit. We weren't going to do none of that stuff to change it. So that's what we set the car up for, where I could jerk it like I need to, where I could miss a shift or so forth like I need to. And then as soon as it got to the point where those guys were missing, started wrecking, stuff like that, I just knew I just needed to start finishing. So I backed up the pace, saved a little bit of gas, pulled out top 5.
Well, certainly a strong run indeed. Top 5 start, top 3 finish. Always good when you move forward. 2 weeks from now, Darlington Raceway. How do you prepare for Darlington here in a couple of weeks?
Start testing now and prepare to turn right all night long. That's what it's going to be like. But with these setups we have right now, Ford's got a really good program with the setups and stuff that we all have, and really strong manufacturer support. So we're pretty decent. So I mean, we have a week off, but that doesn't mean the work stops. So we're going to start testing probably next Tuesday and start trying to hammer some stuff and figure some shock stuff out and go there and try to win that thing.
Well, Bobby, a job well done. Certainly looking forward to Darlington here in a couple of weeks. Who do you want to shout out to, though, before we let you go?
I just everybody in the league. You, of course, have done an amazing job. It's like we're watching TV, like on Fox stuff, man. I mean, you do an amazing job, and all the racers and people make this. David and Will and all those guys, they keep us all in line, keep everything funded, and keep us having fun. So looking forward to the rest of the year.
All right, Bobby. Thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck at Darlington.
Thank you, buddy.
It's Bobby Hamilton Jr., your third-place finisher here at the Glen. Strong run for the 25. Again, putting the work in. Plans to do more of that here coming up all this week. Again, an off week for the race weekend, but as he said, that does not mean the work stops. So tune in to us here next race is 2 weeks from now, Darlington Raceway. It's going to be a fun one to watch. Always is at the Lady in Black. Before we get out of here, though, we got to take a look at our official race results. Of course, we talked Derek Welch, Will Hewitt, Bobby Jr., the top 3. Colt Ansley came home in the 4th spot after a tumultuous afternoon. Still hang on for a top 5 finish. A job well done by the 86. A quiet run for A.J. Rogers, but still a top 5. Chris Klein, a little eventful as well, but he finishes P6. 7th for Mark Truxell. David Bradford manages an 8th place finish. Probably would have seen him up in the top 5 or better without incident. Frank Griffith was 9th. Josh Ingram, P10. 11th went to Alan DeFries. 12th, Matt Nicholson. Vincent Short was 13th after an early race incident. Derek Runge, same thing, 14th after a crash up through the S's that cost him, and then some contact with David Bradford in the bus stop when he had his problems. Keenan Kimber was 15th. Will Jones, 16th. A favorite coming into tonight, out of this one early as well. Tom Barish, 17th. Peyton Wagoner didn't even make it one lap, unfortunately, for the 8. He'll finish in the 18th position. That's going to wrap it up for us here at the Glen. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Stream chat a little busier here tonight. Some fresh faces. Hope you guys come back and tune in a couple of weeks for Darlington. Always good to see new smiles and new, well, not really smiles. We don't see any faces. But either way, thank you guys for tuning in and chatting it up with us. We appreciate that immensely. It makes it more fun for us and honestly adds a little bit of content to the broadcast. If you haven't already done so, anybody, whether you chatted or not, hit the like button. That helps push the video onto some wider eyeballs, wider audiences, so to speak. Get some fresh faces, fresh eyeballs on the channel itself and the league as well. Maybe some iRacers out there looking for a competitive league. We've only got 18 cars here tonight, so there's certainly room to grow. But a solid group of competitors here tonight, putting on a great show here at the Glen. Thank you guys again all for tuning in. And again, thank this league here, the PSRA Open ARCA Series, putting on a great race here in Watkins Glen. It was a fun one to call, fun one to watch. I'm going to sign off here because I got some packing to do. We got to get ready to go to, well, the Glen. Be there Wednesday to Monday, and hopefully I don't hurt my liver too much. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.